In this video, we explore just how big was Mr. T in the 1980s.
The name is Mr. T. First name is Mr. Middle name is that period. Last name is T. Listen and listen good.
Now, Mr. T was the toughest dude in the 80s, besides maybe Rambo, and everybody was trying to talk like him or talking about him. Now, Mr. T was like the busiest man on the planet at that time. He was literally everywhere. The T craze started when T was in his late 20s. It began when T won 2 tough man competitions consecutively using his boxing skill. On the second competition, Mr. T said, "I just feel sorry for the guy who I have to box. I just feel sorry for him." This fight was scheduled to last 3 rounds, but Mr. T finished it in less than 54 seconds. The line, "I don't hate him, but I pity the fool," in the movie Rocky III was written by Sylvester Stallone, who was said to have been inspired by that interview.
No, I don't hate Balboa, but I pity the fool, and I will destroy any man who tries to take what I got.
Now, Rocky III was released May 28, 1982. It became the highest grossing film in the Rocky franchise at that time, with $270 million worldwide in 1980s bucks. Now, it was the 4th highest grossing film of 1982. Now, if I remember correctly, I think the very first Rocky film I watched as a kid was Rocky III on television, and that was because Mr. T had been on the A-Team. And so which got me into watching my other childhood hero, Rocky Balboa. And those 2 guys inspired me and probably millions of others to work out on a regular basis. In '82, Mr. T did a guest shot on Silver Spoons playing himself as a bodyguard for Ricky Schroder's character, Ricky Stratton, which was hilarious. That same month, he was on an episode of Saturday Night Live. He did another appearance on the show later with Hulk Hogan. He even did late-night David Letterman appearances. I don't even think the man slept in the 80s. Now, when he debuted as B.A. Baracus on the A-Team in 1983, he exploded after the first regular episode appeared right after the Super Bowl on January 30th, 1983. That week, it went to number 4 in the Nielsen ratings. The first 3 seasons of the A-Team were huge. It was in the top 10 consistently.
I love it when a plan comes together. Marvel
Comics even did a comic book miniseries based on the show. Now, you know, the A-Team resulted in, of course, action figures and toy vans, and of course there was Mr. T, everything back then. I mean, the most popular person to dress up like in '83 and '84 was Mr. T. Mr. T even got his own cereal in 1984. How many stars get their own cereal? In '83, T also played on an episode of Different Strokes where Arnold became a mini-me, or should I say mini-T, on the episode entitled Mr. T and Mr. T. By the end of '83, around Christmas time, Mr. T was at the White House with the Reagans. After Nancy Reagan did the infamous photo of her sitting on T's lap, with T being Santa Claus, she asked him to partner with her on the Just Say No Against Drugs program.
I get angry just thinking about it makes me mad. Little kids doing drugs, it turns my stomach. That stuff hurts.
Mr. T even got his own cartoon series in 1983 that lasted until 1985. Mr. T would even take time to do live bits in front and at the end of each episode. In '84, he made a motivational video called Be Somebody or Be Somebody's Fool, which gave helpful advice to children throughout the video. And also in '84, Mr. T was roasted by some of the greatest Hollywood stars of all time, including Dean Martin as the host, Bob Hope, Don Rickles, Howard Cosell, Rich Little, and his fellow A-Team star George Papard was there, and other '80s TV stars like Gary Coleman, Nell Carter, and Ricky Schroder.
We're honoring Mr. T. Why?
He also released a rap mini-album called Mr. T's Commandments in '84. As if T wasn't busy enough in the 80s, he decided to also become a professional wrestler, where he tag teamed with Hulk Hogan. Now, after the A-Team was canceled back in '87, T went straight to another show to finish off the '80s called TNT, where T played a detective. Now, over the years, Mr. T has done a lot of commercials, TV shows, and even Dancing with the Stars a few years ago. And what do Mr. T and Chuck Norris have in common, you may ask, besides being the toughest dudes on the planet? Well, in their personal lives, both were born-again Christians. Mr. T has been seen on many Christian programs talking about his faith in Jesus Christ. Hey, if you haven't checked out my new book, Liberty Ace, on Amazon, you can download it on Kindle or get the paperback. At the end of this video, I'm going to link to a new Christmas cartoon I've made for my new cartoon channel that's fun for everyone of all ages. So check that out. Please subscribe, hit the bell, and comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Thank you very much.